Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Christopher J Elston, writer, director, stop motion animator, puppeteer of short films and horror films, and just kind of sitting here talking to you guys tonight about a few things. As a lot of you know, I'm currently in production for my little film Mimi and Friends, which is now a trailer on YouTube and Facebook and several other places, and we also got a little small Indiegogo going for it right now. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit this evening. But first of all, I kind of wanted to say who I was because I know I've gotten a lot of new followers and subscribers to my different platforms, and I kind of just want to tell you a little bit about me because I know you've been seeing a lot of the project, and this is a little bit what I'm about. So I've been making films for quite a while. I mean, this would be my first like actual feature in the professional arena. But ever since I was like in my mid 20s, I was making like short films and everything. Growing up, I'm an 80s baby, so I was always into like, the 80s stuff and 70s stuff. I was seeing a lot of horror movies I probably shouldn't have watched young, but that helped me out now. Like, I've seen all the stuff like Evil Dead and Basket Case and all that stuff, even the more fantastical films like Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I've always had a thing for like movies, but at that time, I was just more infatuated with them. I didn't understand how they were made or none of that until a little later on. I started seeing like behind the scenes stuff. And even then, I still didn't really understand it, but I was fascinated with it. And I would, play it out with little action figures and stuff. But when I got, later on, when I got to like, middle school and high school, I was still in the horror films and stuff. But at that time, that was like the big Ninja Turtle boom and stuff. So, like several other people, I got more into comic art and comic books. And I kind of stopped doing the movie thing, more focused on like wanting to like, make characters like Ninja Turtles and drawing all that stuff. But the funny thing about it is, like everything I did was still cinematic, And I read a lot of comics and stuff, but the way I wrote was always more like film based. So again, early on, I took a couple drama classes and stuff, and I would do little plays in there. My teacher at the time thought it was really good, but I didn't really have a desire to do that then. I was more just wanting to kind of do art. So throughout high school and everything, I did that. It wasn't until about I was in my early 20s when I wanted to do film seriously, and the movie that made me want to do film was the Shinya Tsukamoto. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. Horror film Tetsuo the Iron Man, and that I just was the wildest thing I ever seen. I never really seen extreme like crazy movies up until that point, So I was like, man, this is something I want to do. So I started, diving more into like actual film, like real film stuff, like horror films and foreign films and all that. But in between, I still was drawing comic book stuff. And my buddy and I, like, because again, like this was like late '90s, early 2000s, so it's a lot. The filmmaking experience was a lot different then, and it was a lot harder. I mean, digital filmmaking wasn't a thing at that point. Everything was still film and stuff, and there was nowhere near as many outlets as it is now, especially with independent filmmakers. So it kind of seemed more like a pipe dream. Doing film, so I pursued comics for a long time, and just drawing and stuff. And again, I briefly went to technical school. I started a family early on, and then let's see, probably about the middle 2000s is when I finally got to the point where I really wanted to try to make movies. And the comic book thing, I kind of like. Again, I was always drawing, so I was drawing storyboards and stuff. So I did a couple shorts. I was ambitious. I thought I could make a feature when I was like 24, which was foolish of me. That didn't go anywhere, but I did learn a lot. And then, again, over the years, just trying stuff out. When it actually became real was when I finally came back to Virginia, and I started just like, at this time, we're talking about late 2000, like mid 2000, like 2012, around that area. And that's when I started like networking for real. Now I would get on Facebook and see what productions were, if any independent production was going on, or if just to help out. I just wanted to learn. 'Cause I had nothing. I knew nobody in film. I didn't have any. I was just pretty much at the very bottom trying to get to that point. So again, just going to Facebook groups and stuff, and then Meet Me. Back in the day, Meet Me was a thing. I found like a lot of different like little workshops and stuff, and just smaller indie films. Got on them, did various jobs. I've done everything from being an actor to trying to be a boom operator, camera assistant, gaffer, everything. And I learned a lot. That was probably my best experience in film, since I didn't go to film school, was just working sets. And I tell everybody that work on sets, you learn the language of a film set, you learn how everybody's job works. So whenever you do want to do your own thing, you understand everybody's job, especially being a director. So now I just wanted to be a writer-director, not because I want to be a control freak or anything. I always like to create stories and stuff. So we did that for a while. This took several years of doing this and stuff, and just working on my little project scripts, trying to get things off the ground. But again, like in that time, I built a network of friends, who were filmmakers, and people who were DPs and boom operators and stuff, actors and directors. So I had like that arsenal of like crew there. So whenever I got ready to do something seriously, I knew how to reach out to people. But again, this was this took us to about late 2017, 2018. I still wasn't ready to make a movie. There was a couple things going on, personal things, and family matters. I wasn't really in the right spot to do a movie. Plus, I still didn't really know. I didn't have a story that I knew I could do on a low budget. Because again, like a lot of stuff costs money. I just didn't really have anything that I knew I could make at the time that I could even do. So me and my fiance, Chastity, she is a very good writer, and we decided let's just like do a couple comic books first. That's, again, it's not movie making, but that's something we can write up. We can get an artist to draw, put out there to kind of see if people even like our writing style, and that's what we did. So a lot of you know my comic book stuff. Back in when was it? Was it 2019, y'all? 2020, I think. I did Rabbits. I did Pop Singer. Well, just one little one shot about it. It was a horror story about a pop singer, and we put that out there. People seemed to like it, Then I did right after that, we did about 3 issues of a comic called Rabbit's Badass Song, and that's more like Watchmen and a deconstruction of a superhero thing and The Boys and stuff. And that, people were liking it. It didn't take off. It wasn't this overnight success or anything. It wasn't like Image was trying to publish it. It was pretty cool. We learned how to create an audience and get a little bit of a following off of that. And we did a couple issues. We could have kept going, but the money it took to make the comic and the time in between was just so much. I could have done other things. So at this point, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to make a movie. And I said, the money we spent on the comic, I probably could have took that and made something small. So I was in a position where I could, Chas now, she actually graduated Full Sail University because she was actually going to actual film school during all this as well. So she kind of came in with a lot of knowledge about cinematography and editing. And we had a newborn baby at the time. This was like 2022. So we said, let's just go ahead and make a little short film. I like doing effects. That's one thing, again, outside of doing like writing and working on like movie sets and stuff and drawing. I do a lot of art. I love sculpting. So I had a good understanding of how to do that. And one short film I did years ago called Hunt. This is first person, kind of like Hardcore Henry, but a werewolf thing. Me and a lot of the crew I'm working on now worked on that. And that was more of an experimental thing. And I did a lot of, at first I was going to get artists from outside to do the special effects for me, but I just could never get anybody to commit and everything. So I said, I'm gonna try this myself. And because of that experience, I said, shoot, it came out pretty cool and people seem to like it. So all right, I need to do more effects. So fast forward to now, I told Chaz, I want to do something with monsters and stuff, practical effects and stop motion as well, because that's something else I was playing around with. So I said, let's just do something small. Let's just do something you and I can do in our apartment, where I can try to do a stop motion effect, a puppet, and a practical effect. And where it had like a cam, she has her own like Sony cam that she got from school. So we already had the equipment pretty much. And we did our own audio, just her and I. So I kind of wrote down like a quick little story that became the short you guys saw called Dr. Drain Brain. About a guy trying to unclog a sink, and his monster comes out the sink and kills him. So pretty simple enough idea. I wrote it, it was like a 2-page thing. Did a couple storyboards. Showed Chastity. We kind of looked at the layout of the kitchen, how we could block it, frame it, and all that. Then I started creating like the little monsters. And creating the little prop monster, it's pretty much like a latex sock puppet and stuff. That took about a week in between me going to work and everything. And making the other, like, because, there's a part where my face melts off, and I cast my own face, and everything, the plaster of Paris, and I just built off of that, the skull face and the fake, the skin that came off. So, that took altogether about a couple weeks. Then we started shooting. We shot over a course of a weekend. It went pretty fast, because we just knew what we wanted, and we didn't want to spend too much time on it. We just wanted, see if we could even try it out. And it came out pretty cool, She edited together, and I liked it, and I had it, and I went and got my other buddy, who's a cinematographer, who's going to actually work on the actual feature, because Chastity, again, we got a kid together, and she just didn't have time to do it, And she likes movies, but she didn't want to be committed that much. She was all about being an editor, being an assistant camera, and continuity and all that, but she just didn't want to be DDP for the whole thing. So my buddy came aboard. And I showed him the short drain base. Dude, this is awesome. I said, yeah, I want to kind of do something like this, but bigger. And I told him, so I got an idea. Give me about a month to work some more things out, and I'll probably have an early script ready, and I can talk to you about it. He said, cool. So in that time, I start working on Mimi and Friends. I said, all right, Chaz, we did Drain Brain. That was one location in our apartment. I mean, hell, just one little area, not bathroom, but the kitchen. And, we did all that with just you and I. People seem to like it. I said, all right, let's do like a bigger version of that. Well, I said, we got, because again, like making independent films, you need a location and sets, getting an area, like a location can be expensive. I said, hell, we shoot in our own apartment, which is insane because our apartment's small enough. There's three of us, and it's her, our baby, 3 cats and me, and I got all my shit in one room, and she got her stuff. We got all the baby stuff. I said, we'll make it work. I said, we can actually incorporate all this into the script. I said, all right, so when I make the story, it'll be a female character who lives here, and she's real cluttered, so we don't got to worry about trying to change it up too much aside just moving baby stuff away and like a little cat stuff. And I said, all right, so her in the apartment, little monsters running around. And I was trying to think, I was like, okay, what can I do with this? I like the evil? I said, no, I don't want to do that. I kind of want people to relate with them. So I said, all right, but maybe they're her friends. And it's pretty much like Joe's apartment, where she's the whole thing. We never leave. 95% of the time we don't leave the apartment. The whole thing happens here in the apartment, and we'll have the creatures in here with her, and this crazy stuff goes on. And from that, I started getting ideas. And again, a lot of it came from what I knew I could do and what I wanted to do. So once I got kind of like a outline, that kind of came up just like this 2-3 page outline of the events that will happen in the story. I said, all right, let me try to make these things first. So for like the next several months, I built the monsters. I did some sketches. I did several sketches of what I was kind of going for. Until I finally got to the point where I, said, okay, I'm gonna start building stuff. The first one I built was Vomit Face. The one that actually talks to the little green guy. And, again, I was going for more of like a Gremlins, the old school Gremlins Ghoulies, like the toilet monster Ghoulies thing with him. And that wasn't too bad. I had to do it. I didn't have all the proper equipment to do a traditional latex puppet, but I had enough stuff where I could do it. I could backward engineer it and still get the same effect. So I made him. Turned out pretty good. Chaz and I did a couple camera effects with him. So I said, okay, I got this guy. And then I went on and made the other 2. So once I had the monsters made and I knew how to operate them and puppet them, again, her and I did a lot of this test footage. I'll probably start dropping more of that online eventually. But once I created them, I was able to actually go back and finish the script off because I didn't want to be in a position where I wrote this ambitious script and I couldn't execute it, where I had to keep on going back doing rewrites and change stuff out. I thought it was a waste of time. So I did it backwards. I made the monsters first. I had my apartment. So I just pretty much made the entire script around those limitations. And within about a week or 2, we had a pretty decent script for Mimi and Friends. Then went back and hit him a DP and told him the whole story. He loved it. And we started setting things up. So it's kind of funny. So the way this movie went, as far as a budget goes for it, it's kind of hard to say exactly how much was spent because so much was done by me and just my friend, because again, all my friends who worked on it are professional filmmakers. So that's kind of like my you know, every filmmaker has a story, right? Like how they got their movie made. You know, Tarantino, he knew Lawrence Bender. He helped him get Reservoir Dogs made. You know, some filmmakers, they got like a buddy who's a producer who gets money. I had none of that. But what I did have was people who you would hire. You would try to get hired to work in your project. And again, because I worked on so many things over the years and I made a relationship with these people, they always want to work with me on something one day. So everybody's all on board on it, especially when I came in and explained it and showed them, like, you know, again, showed them the short film I did. So they knew exactly what I was going for visually. I showed them the puppets. I showed them how I could technically pull it off. I had storyboards laid out, you know, with my apartment. So the whole pre-production process went really smooth. So, you know, and again, like, I guess the only really budgetary things I can say right now is, you know, feeding people and just buying like special effects stuff, because like all my people had their own equipment. Like, no, my cinematographer, he had a Blackmagic Ursa, and we had a mutual friend who had a pocket Blackmagic Mini, I think it is 6K. So we had two cameras, one for A, one for B, and so we got a lot more stuff done. And you know, my sound guy, he had his own sound equipment. And you know, we always got like we called in different friends to do grip and assistance and all that stuff. And like I had my actress, she's a good friend of ours. You know, she was all on board for it. So and we had the other two actors who are in the film were friends of ours, and they came on board, and it went pretty smooth. We spent about this will be almost 2 years now working on it. We're almost done with the thing. The owners is taking so long is again because, you know, we're doing this as like the small indie project and people have jobs. You know, I got a regular job, you know, I'm a parent. All my friends, they work on different sets and all that stuff. So, and it's still to say what this thing is and how much we got done already. We move pretty fast because then we're doing like, you know, long weekends. Like some of us, like if we had a couple of days off during the week, just planning things out. It's hard. We don't got the sound guy today, but the stuff we're going to shoot requires no audio, you know, and that's how we would do it. You know, it's kept on chipping away. And right now we got about, mostly now it's just a bunch of insert shots we got to do and one or two scenes. And after that, we're pretty much wrapped on this thing. And I'll be announcing that. And I'll keep on dropping behind the scenes and everything. But yeah, this thing is, I'm really happy with it. And like I said, the trailer you guys saw, that was, that's just a taste of what this thing's going to be about. Because again, I'm a horror guy, you know, obviously got Terrifier shirt on and stuff, but you know, I'm a big fan of like the old school practical effects. I like modern horror too, you know, again, like a lot of the A24 stuff and even was it Neon films, Neon, how they making stuff like Long Legs. It's cool, but I just like the more fun, laid back slapstick horror, like Evil Dead 2, Ghoulies, especially Frank Henenlotter. This film is definitely homage and a call back to the early Frank Henenlotter films, specifically Basket Case 1 and Brain Damage. Brain Damage was a real influence on this movie because I like the whole human with the parasitic relationship and like a little dingy one, you know, rural like setting, or not rural setting, but like a more urban setting or whatever, or in a house or apartment. So that's kind of what we're going for. And there's a story to this thing. I can't say too much of it right now, obviously, because, you know, I don't want to spoil it. But, you know, the story revolves around this female named Mimi, who's a graphic designer. She's isolated to her apartment. She had a pet cat that died recently. So she's kind of dealing with that. And she finds these creatures, let's say, and they kind of take the place of the pet. And she's an introvert, so she's in her apartment all the time. Again, I tried to play around with the you know, what we had and everything. And she has a friend from work who comes and checks on her, and it kind of goes from there, you know. And it's really a story. There's a theme to it. It's about friendship, loss, and stuff, you know, when moving on, that kind of thing. You know, the monsters, you know, they're not bad guys. I can't say that. You know, they do some little crazy things, but they're not. I mean, they're not evil by nature, you know. And there's one scene in particular I wanted to make sure I showed that they're not bad guys, and you'll know when you see it. But there's some other things going on, some little surprises, you know, a little bit about where they came from, you know, who they are, you know, how it affects Mimi in several ways. So I mean, I'm really excited about it. We'll be dropping more stuff along the way, and I'll you know, there's gonna be, so the thing you guys saw was a teaser trailer. The next trailer will be a more narrative one. We'll probably have that by the end of the year, probably December. I don't want to put it out too soon because again, we're still trying to get things together. And we'll keep you posted on that. Excuse me, I got to drink something here. But yeah. So the Indiegogo thing. So I'll talk about that. So going back to the comic book thing, when we did our rabbit book and all that stuff, we did originally do it out of pocket, but then we got to the point where we said, let's try to do some crowdfunding. So I have done crowdfunding before. We've done it with Kickstarter, pretty much just like the first Indiegogo I've done. We tried to do one with one of our pinup books. That didn't really go anywhere because most people backed it on Kickstarter. But this is the actual first one Indiegogo we've done that's actually gotten backers on it. But anyway, the Kickstarter thing. So I am aware of how to do Kickstarters and stuff. In the past we would do like a sign up for like a month and everything, kind of build it up from there. And through like the several Kickstarters we did, we pretty much got like a somewhat a built-in like support group on there. But with the Mimi and Friends thing, again, I've been interviewing and talked to a lot of filmmakers and stuff, and it seems like a lot of people are using Indiegogo for film. And I didn't think originally that's okay. Well, we did decent. We've done like $4,000 or $5,000 on it Kickstarters, but that's been for comic books. And this thing is so different from anything we've done before. I didn't know if doing Mimi and Friends on Kickstarter would translate. That's why at first I didn't really entertain that as, all right, let's just try Indiegogo, and the way I did the Indiegogo one, again, if, for you guys have seen it, it's not a big, actually, let's pull it up real quick. Give me a second. Let me pull that up. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is the Mimi and Friends thing. So let's look at this real quick. Yeah, so this one right here, and again, before I go any further, I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for everybody who's backed this campaign. I mean, dudes, I'm happy where we're at right now. I never thought I would make something where a movie that people want to buy the Blu-rays of, and a lot of you guys have done it. You stick behind us and you really believe in us. That's awesome. But for this one, again, we're set to go really low, $1,000. Let's go from there. And like I said, the movie, as far as the actual cost of the film, that's all been covered. What I'm really looking at now going forward is, I thought doing an Indiegogo would be a good way to kind of build more of a following for the project and get more eyes on it. And just kind of let people see it who may not normally see the thing, and let them know that this is going to be something that we're actually going to put out, on Blu-ray and the stream. And the plan is to actually, once the film is all done, I'm gonna just totally do self-distribution. Now that's going to consist of several things. First of all, I've done the research, and actually getting it shown like a theater, like one screening here and there, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's very affordable. So there's a couple of screens we plan on trying to set up for the movie. One will be here in the hometown, of course, of Virginia, and we'll probably do like an actual like an event for that, and kind of travel with it from there. Outside of that, obviously the Blu-rays. Again, we got the Blu-rays on our Indiegogo right now, and I will actually continue to try to, if people want it, we'll keep on trying to make Blu-rays for people to buy, because I know we're in a digital era now. I know streaming is a big one, but I know a lot of the horror purists want still physical media. I'm one of those people. I love having the steel box sets and the cool variants with all the artwork and all that stuff on it. I said, dude, I'm all about making that for its people. So we hopefully with the Blu-rays we want to make them something personal for you guys, something really cool, not just something we slap on a disc and try to sell it to you, something professionally done. Because again, we're putting a lot of effort and sweat and tears, blood, sweat, and tears into the movie. We want all our stuff to be the same way. So, the Blu-ray would definitely be something that I think people are really going to appreciate. But as far as the streaming goes, my plan with it, and again, this is me just doing a lot of research and listening to other people like Jason Horton, who's an awesome guy. Eric Mathis, he's got a kick-ass campaign right now and stuff. Like all my peers, they're telling me, saying like, dude, like the way to go is like Film Hub. So my dream, like some people dream ambitions to get their movie put in Sundance and Fantastic Fest and all that. If I can get this thing, on Film Hub and accept it on the Tubi, and I'm cool. That's all I wanted, because a lot of people are not going to buy movies. They're not going to rent it. They're going to watch it when it's on streaming platforms. And the way we designed Mimi is perfect for that. So that's what we're going for. So again, the three big ones is limited theatrical run, selling like Blu-ray discs, get it on streaming. Between those three, we'll see what happens. Now hopefully people like enough, I can get we'll do the next thing. But going back to the campaign, so that's pretty much what the what we're going for the campaign. So pretty much outside of the paying for the you guys getting the Blu-rays, any extra money we get off of this will just go into the self-distribution aspect of it. We already have finances put aside for that, but it's never hurt to have a little bit more. So that's why we're doing the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter at some point, but currently the Indiegogo, just to see what happens, see how we'll get more interest in it. But it's a pretty basic one. What I'm saying? This is like a nice picture we took of the monsters, and that's good old Vomit Face. And as you've seen in the trailer, there's a reason they call him Vomit Face. There's a lot more to it than that, but I'll say this much. He another inspiration for Vomit Face was David Cronenberg's The Fly. And if you remember how he ate, then that should give you a good idea of what Vomit Face is really all about. But he's the only one that talks. There was several reasons for that. Number one, just voice actors. We didn't know. We didn't want to know how to get a whole bunch of different voice actors. And the way the story's set up, it's easier just if one of them is the voice for the group, and was kind of like used to other ones. They just emote their feelings and stuff through different sounds and stuff. But I don't want to say he's the most intelligent one. They all got different forms of intelligence, but he's definitely the most vocal one, and everything. He's the asshole, But people seem to like him the most. And he was fun to make. The next one up is Gory Hole, and he's just kind of like your little parasitic monster thing with like a little tentacle that comes out. And I was thinking about things like Night of the Creeps, John Carpenter's The Thing with like the little mandibles, and how it's just all these different little things, and kind of like how this little ladybug pattern, and again, like emphasis on the parasite part, because that may play into the movie at some point. Then we got the box. I'll say the box for last. We got Trimmer right here. He's actually my favorite. He's just, when I first came with design, I said I want to do something that's like a Hellraiser dinosaur thing. So I kind of make him a T-Rex with like all the spiky armor and stuff. But he's like the puppy dog of the group. As you've seen in the trailer, he makes the little puppy dog sounds and stuff, and whimper and everything like that. So he's the cute one. And then we have Jeffrey. Now the joke about Jeffrey was when I made these things. Again, I made them in order. I made Vomit Face, Trimmer, then I made Gory Hole. When I got to him, I said, man, I do not feel like making another damn puppet, because I kind of already knew how to operate all of those. That's been enough on its own. I said, I'm just gonna make a box. This guy just this Cthulhu, Lovecraftian type creature in it, and we never really see it except like a little tentacle here and there. We'll keep him in the back room, so he's kind of like, like the tank of the group. He's the muscle, the biggest one, but you never really see all of them. But you do get a little surprise at certain points in the film of him. And the whole thing about why he's named Jeffrey, there's a joke in there about that as well that you'll see in the movie. But that's pretty much it. That's all of them. This is like our first poster. And we're going to do several different posters. I just thought this would be a cool one. Kind of a throwback to like the 80s stuff. Chas and I, we set these up in our hallway. Had the door, and we lit it. And she took a picture and went into, Photoshop and made it all up. I did that kind of captures the tone of the movie. Even the font. We tried to make the font kind of friendly looking, even though it's like this really, kind of gory, gross, wacky movie. We tried to keep it somewhat, friendly looking. Right here, obviously, this is most. Now, there's still several more homages and Easter eggs. I guess the Easter eggs, but homages at the least in the film that I pulled from. But these are kind of like the big ones. Gremlins. Those should be self-explanatory about the little monsters. The Evil Dead one is kind of like the tone, because the thing about it is, like, all right, with Mimi and Friends is when I wrote it, I said that, okay, when I write this thing, it's a crazy, wacky movie, but I don't want the entire world to be crazy, wacky. Meaning, like Earth is grounded. Okay, Earth is still Earth. All right, hey, the monsters, they're out, even they're somewhat grounded. It's not this Looney Tunes situation. I know sometimes you see that, because that's not like Ghoulies 3, I think, for example. I like Ghoulies 3, but Ghoulies 3 all over is just wacky, 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 wacky. I want to have more of a tone, more of a bass to it. Kind of like how Gremlins did. And even like, especially like Critters, how like humans are humans, monsters come in, but humans are still humans. Like, they don't do crazy stuff just because the monster's there. It's kind of like, having this balance between the fantastical and the mundane. So that's kind of where I was going with that. But going back to the Evil Dead thing, when crazy stuff happens, it does do like this kind of wild Evil Dead 2 type stuff. And again, when you see the film, you'll get what I'm going for. But yeah, Joe's Apartment's a really big, that's definitely a good thing to base this off of. Just person in the apartment with these little creature things and how they help them out and stuff. Yeah, then you guys, this is me pretty much doing what I'm doing now, kind of talking about the project and everything. This is some of the cast. Obviously me, my fiance Chastity, who helped me write and direct it, our good friend Fiona, who's the actress in this, who's phenomenal. And Fiona's she's in a band too. You guys should check them out, called Pitchin' a Fit. Definitely cool band if you look her up on her social media. But again, like I said, the thing's almost done. We are just trying to get some extra funds just to cover small little things along the way. But either way, and again, like everybody who's donated so far, thank you so much, and you will get your perks, But even if we got like $0 on this thing, the movie's still gonna get made. Now, everything is still gonna be the plan. We're still gonna finish it. We're gonna do everything I just said. But doing this kind of helps out a little bit. But if nothing else, it's bringing more awareness to the project. But as far as rewards go, obviously, a lot of stuff I just kind of looked at over Indiegogo and see what they did. Something, and think from what we did on our over campaigns, kind of what works, what doesn't work. So a poster. Even if we don't sell any of these, I probably still get some made and sell them out at at events when we do theater showings or if we go to conventions and stuff. The special thanks, that's just something that for people who just donated. We're gonna put your name's gonna be in the credit, and you get an IMDb credit as well. So anybody who gets that perk, you're gonna be in the titles. The Blu-ray, this is the one's been doing really well for us, and that's the one I'm most excited about is the Blu-ray. And this will not be the final artwork on the Blu-ray. This is kind of placement holder for it right now. But it's $40, and I think it's $7 for shipping. So I think around $47. If it's overseas, that's going to fluctuate, but most people who back these campaigns know the prices with them. I wish I could do it cheaper than 40, but just for the way these things are printed and everything and stuff, just doing an average of what I've seen across the board for these movies, this is the one we settled on that we thought was most fair. And there'll probably be some more goodies along the way. It won't probably just be the movie. We'll try to put some behind the scenes stuff and a menu screen and all that. I just got to finish the actual film to see how much extra stuff we have to put on it. T-shirts, again, that's another one of those things that, just put it on here. Even if we don't sell any, I still will probably get some made at some point and sell those, again, when we go to conventions or, we do movie showings and whatnot. A social producer, $500. That gets you, if anybody was interested in that, that's a credit on IMDb, and you'll actually be in the credits of the movie, the beginning and end credit scene. So as soon as the movie comes on, there's a sequence where we have room to show like the title sequence and all the names and stuff like that of the actual credits. So you'll be in that. And then we got the executive credit, which that's $1,000. All that, and you'll have the actual executive producer credit on your IMDb page. And I know there are some people, and I've talked to people who are interested in those perks. I've seen some much higher than this. I've seen some much lower than this. We thought this was a happy medium, And again, if this was something somebody was interested in, but they wanted to talk to me about it, you can reach out to me. We can work something out if you're interested. But that's about it. It's not. We didn't want to put a lot of perks. 'Cause again, this is our first Indiegogo. I know people are still trying to, get a feel for who we are. We have done, but we've never done a campaign we never fulfilled 100%. And this will be fulfilled. We did put the arrival date a little far away in advance to October of next year, just to give us some time. I'm hoping we get this thing done a lot sooner than that, but that's the plan. Is to, at the latest October of next year, but it could be way earlier. Hopefully, it's way earlier than that. We'll get all the stuff out and everything. And obviously, if something comes along where, let's say, we get the movie out and there's a production company that comes along, not production, like a distribution company that wants to pick it up, do all this other extra stuff, everybody's still getting their Blu-ray. You just have a Indiegogo exclusive of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If anybody's watching, I mean, I'm here to answer any questions. And if you're a filmmaker, drop your project down in the comment section. This is not just all about me. I want to help keep support indie horror. So if you have anything that's coming up or a current campaign going, plug it. I'll showcase it right now. And again, any questions, I'm here. Just hanging out, drink a little Red Bull. But we've had a lot of fun making this movie. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. And it's like, man, there's so many cool little things that's in it that I wish I could tell you about right now. But if I did that, it would ruin the whole surprise. But the run time, it should be no more than an hour and 20 minutes. I just don't see this thing being any longer than that. It might be a hair bit shorter than that. Rating wise, it's gonna be rated R just for the violence. It's got a lot of gore and some of the language in it. There's no sexual stuff in it, no nudity. If it wasn't for some of the gore in it, it probably could almost be a PG-13 movie, But it's got a lot of just wacky, gory effects, So that makes it rated R. But I mean, a kid could see it. I mean, if a 12-year-old kid wanted to watch it, I wouldn't say no. I mean, there's a lot worse things than that out there. But what else? Let's see. Oh, let's go ahead and play the trailer real quick. I know most of you probably already seen the thing, but I'll go ahead and play it just for shits and giggles. So let's see here. Let's play it. We'll stop that stream. We will go to preset, share screen. And let's watch the trailer. That's actually me sitting on the side, operating the puppet. So there's right there. I've contorted my body a lot in this thing. Yes, that's another monster you've not seen yet, by the way.
All right, your move. Don't forget Jeffrey. Butternuts. Wanna get high? Yeah. My child.
I can feel it.
This is fucking bullshit.
All right. And that was the trailer. For you who have not seen it yet. So the stop motion, that's something else I want to talk about. There is a lot of stop motion in this thing. And that kind of comes from, again, one of my Tetsuo the Iron Man, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. That has, a good mixture of stop motion effects and practical. And I said I'm definitely good. If I don't only do one movie my entire life, it's going to have that kind of aesthetic to it, where I do a lot of practical effects, stop motion in it. And there's a lot in this thing, especially towards the end. But I like the last scene you saw right there. Oh, hold on a second. That is, what is this? Okay. Sorry, YouTube is still going. Yeah, so like the whole thing, and that's the creatures going to their home world. So there's a couple scenes like that where I did all stop motion. And when I and my DP started like doing it, I guess like the first couple of days of shooting, we did the stop motion stuff first because we still didn't have Fiona locked in as the actress. So we said, all right, let's just go ahead and do the stop motion stuff in the downtime. So pretty much a lot of the stop motion was the first thing done. That took a few months to do because again, like I just had to do it in my apartment. I built everything from the ground up. The set pieces, the little miniatures, all that stuff. But and then you guys have seen like I've done in between the shoots. I was trying to just do other little short things just to keep momentum going. So I got a lot of other stop motion stuff on my YouTube channel, and those were quick ones. Those aren't nearly as smooth and as the ones you see in the film, just because I was doing them like over like a week just to kind of get something done and stuff. But it's fun. But there's some of them that I will say might be better than what I did in the movie, just because the more you do something, the better you get at it. But there's a lot of stop motion. There's a few live action / stop motion sequences, meaning live action characters interacting with a stop motion effect, which are really cool. But yeah, altogether, like far as actors, there's 3 actors. There's the lead one, like I just told you, Fiona, her friend. There's another guy that comes along, and yeah, there may be, all right, so there's 4 actors, okay? There's a 4th one that you'll see at the very end, but you won't know who it is. And again, once the movie comes out, well, I'll tell you about more of that. But yeah, like I said, right behind me, this is where we're shot at mostly, in the living room. Pretty much every room in this house, there's a scene shot in there somewhere. I tried to make the best of everything. The biggest problem I ran into was continuity. We tried the best we could. Everybody was doing so many different jobs on this thing that there are a couple times we missed stuff. But luckily, the way the story's played out and how like this reality starts to shift a little bit throughout the movie, I could get some of the continuity issues I could get around. I could justify, all right, what else is things starting to change. So a lot of you may not even see. It's just most people who direct their films, they're gonna see shit you're just not gonna pay attention to. Even in the trailer, there's certain little things. Oh man, but nobody else seems to know this. So cool. But a lot of people that have seen it, they liked it. They're comparing it to like Peter Jackson's earlier work, like Meet the Feebles, and a lot of people said like the Ghoulies stuff and Frank Henenlotter. I'm like, sweet. That's exactly what I was going for. And the scene is finding its audience, like, because it is a niche thing. Especially now. It seems like in the independent horror realm, it's a lot of slashers. I know slashers is the easiest ones to do because, they're slashers. It's just, doing crazy kill effects. But the little monster thing, there's not many of them now. There's a few. There's like 1 or 2 new ones coming out, I think. And including mine, maybe 3. But just not a lot of them. And I'm pretty sure it's because it's, they're hard to do, because you got to make creatures, you got to do puppetry and stuff like that. But I just love doing it, Hopefully this works out where I can do more like it. I'm really hoping people just find this movie one way or the other. That's what I'm saying. It's important that I keep on sharing out, the trailer every day. I keep on doing these videos every day. I know people are probably getting tired of doing Indiegogo every single day, but I got to do it. I have, it's me. I got my crew and everything who's helping make the movie, but as far as like the promotion part, that's all me. It's what I want to make of it. So I got to at least try. But so far I'm happy with everything. Again, any questions? I know it's probably Sunday evening, nobody's really active right now, but this has been pre-recorded, so not pre-recorded, it's gonna be recorded. So if anything comes up, just let me know. I love to answer any questions anybody wants. And again, any filmmakers out there who want to post their projects in the comments, by all means do. I'm all about supporting the independent film scene. But let's see. What else while I'm on here? Pretty dead for a Sunday night. I will be doing more of these. Again, this is kind of the first one. I've never really done a lot. Actually, I've never done any, I don't think. Well, it's just me talking. I've pretty much just interviewed other people. But I'm going to try to do more of these, try to get, get more familiarized with everybody out there. Because I may not be new to making this movies, but I'm definitely new to the networking with other filmmakers, And I want to try to do more of that. 'Cause I know that's how it works. You got to build your audience. You got to build that group of people that will continue to, watch your stuff. But I just want to say again to everybody who has been sharing my stuff and who has actually donated to the Indiegogo, I cannot say thank you enough. And people, I know I've had a lot of people tell me they want to donate, they don't have the money right now. Look, I know we live in a tough economy, and I know you got to make choices what you got to spend your money on. The fact that you're even looking at this stuff and sharing it, I appreciate it. But hey, every little bit helps. You know, $1. You know what I'm saying? If you want to give $1, cool. You know, I say a lot of times, there's a lot of people out here. If you just think there's a lot of indie movies made, if everybody just donated $1, if like 5,000 people donate one, that's $5,000 that guy or gal made to go into the movie. Don't take much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm guilty of myself. I'll go out and buy, you know, a bucket of popcorn at the theater and stuff. You know, I could have made it at home or watch a movie at home. You know. Put that money into like a project that needs it, you know. I mean, Alien Romulus, they're gonna make their billions. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that gotta, you know, get up to so we can make our Alien Romulus type movies. But I think that's about it. But again, the Indiegogo's up. There is gonna be, so that is the last thing. So there is gonna be a Kickstarter page. It's actually got it set up now. You can sign up. And it's not because. Oh, hold on a second. My little girl. Alex, hey, as far as me and friends, will there be any sequels? I'm glad you asked that. Maybe. It depends. It just depends on how well this does. But yeah, if it goes well enough where I can make another one out of me, yeah. I definitely have 2 more I could do out of this, and but it'd be so different as far as like just the scale of it. It's a lot more going on, but it's definitely designed where you could do more of them. So hopefully, you know, if this works out, we will see that. What else? Oh yeah, the Kickstarter thing. So like I said, we it's not like we're trying to get all the extra money out of it. It really came down to one thing. There are some people I know that want to back this project, but they're purists and they only want. No, some people only like Kickstarter, they're only comfortable with Kickstarter, and vice versa. Some people only comfortable with Indiegogo. That's why we went ahead and created a Kickstarter page. It's not live yet. It's just right now sign up. I'm not heard to launch that until I kind of see a decent amount of signups on it to see if there's enough interest built, you know. But for right now, the Indiegogo one is live. We're 39% funded now, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome, you know. And we've got 56 more days to go. So I'm gonna keep on pushing this out there, you know. Doing everything I can to get people interested in the project. And if there's any suggestions, anything you guys want to know, just message me. I'm around. But I think I'm gonna go end this one this evening. Again, this will be up on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page if you guys want to go back and watch it and stuff. And you know, all my social media links are on my YouTube page and they're on Facebook. So, again, just reach out. And, again, thanks, guys, and I will see you later.